preparing to live stream, okay.
So take your hands off, give it a moment.
Sorry.
So the next thing you will see should be a YouTube version of the Zoom meeting.
Right, okay.
And then once you see that, you're going to go back to the actual Zoom meeting.
Okay, so this is going to be YouTube.
So YouTube is live now?
Yeah, now go back to Zoom.
Preparing to live stream, okay.
And it's this one here. Okay.
You are now live.
I am live.
It's going to be a YouTube version. See that, you're going to go back to the actual Zoom meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Interference, okay. I have not quite 4 o'clock. I have 4 o'clock, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we'll call this meeting to order for Public Safety Committee for May 18th, 2020. First item up on the agenda would be the review and approval of the minutes of the February 24th, 2020 meeting. Would you like to have a reading of the minutes, or do I have a motion to accept as printed?
I can make the motion. Make a motion to review and approve of the minutes of February 24th, 2020 meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The second item on our agenda is item number 10254, an ordinance amending the code of the city of Gardner, chapter 600 thereof, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, section 600-24, parking prohibited on certain streets, Nutting Street. We had a communication from Deputy Chief Trifolo about this matter. We've also had some correspondence from some residents, so I'll open this to discussion.
Okay.
Yes.
I've had like 2 or 3 different people that live on Nutting Street contact me with many concerns of their own. One being, you know, most of the homes here do have off-street parking for them, but when they have visitors or family, their concern is, where are they going to tell them that they can park? Another concern is there are two of the individuals that called me. One has lived there for over 50 years on that street and can never recall an accident. They have also told me that that Nutting Street is a cutoff street, like it's a shortcut for people that are going up Prospect or going up Union. And they feel that if those few cars that are parked there every once in a while actually slow that traffic down for them. I had another mother get in touch with me this afternoon where she has 2 small children. They do play out in the front yard. She feels that every once in a while, if there is a car parked out there, that it keeps the child protected from having nothing out there. Another thing, I did ask the head of the highway department if his plows have ever had problems going up and down their plowing. He said, no, never. What else? Like quite a few things here. I guess with all this information and considering it, I can't support the change. That's it.
Yes, George.
Yes, as Councilor Harden said, I had a few residents of the street contact me and express the same concerns. I also drove down the street, and I can definitely also see the traffic commission's, the study they did with the measurements. It is a tight fit. There was only 1 car parked on the street when I drove through, but I could see how it would be tight if parking was on both sides. I was wondering, Deputy Chief Jafiro, in the traffic committee meeting, was one-way traffic or one-side parking discussed as an alternative measure?
Well, in order to do one-side parking, you would have to, the dimensions would only allow the road to be one way. And we've already ran into that with other studies that we've done on other streets in the city. And we are opposed to going one way because of the impact it could have on police, fire, and EMS response. We can't go against the grain of traffic.
Would the one-way be towards Prospect or towards Union? That
I think it was indifferent. It didn't matter no matter what. If it depended on which way the police unit or EMS unit was coming, there would be an impact no matter what. And in a matter of life and death, it's the seconds count. So the traffic commission was not in support of entertaining a one-way suggestion. Just the limited amount of traffic we saw parked on the side of the roadway. We just didn't want to impact any police response.
I got another.
Councilor Harden?
Well, I'm told that street has been there since like 1870. What I've been told. I have not thoroughly checked that out. But to me, it seems like we're going to open a door to a lot. If we do this, we're going to open a lot of doors for a lot of streets, because a lot of our streets in Gardner are very narrow. A lot of them were cart roads years ago. As well as we do have a winter parking ban. So when that happens, they have to take those cars off the street. They won't be there, which would be a concern. And that's taken away. That's it.
Deputy Chief, did you have any, did you see any of the resident concerns that had come forward?
Well, I will tell you this, Councilor, what we did is when we got this complaint, we reacted on a complaint. And the first thing we do is we say, by code, is the street wide enough to support parking? And unfortunately, by code, by concrete code, by the letter of law, it does not. Having two-way direction, two-way travel. As a matter of fact, if we keep a two-way travel, considering the dimensions of where people park, and that's also saying if they park tight up against the curb, there is a really grave impact in some of the areas that are over there. Now, I can tell you this much, councilors. I did do some digging for you. I went back. I did 10 years. Well, actually, it's from 1/1 of 2010 just to May 15th. Councilor Harding, you are correct. I can only find one reportable accident on that road. And a reportable accident being a person killed, injured, or any damage exceeding $1,000 to vehicles or property. And I also started looking at the intersections too, because there's an impact on the intersections. And given the same parameters, I couldn't find any accidents between Prospect and Nutting Street or Nutting and Union Street. I think there was only one that was reportable within that 10+ year period. I also went back and looked at traffic citations for that area. I can only go far back in our computer system is 7/31 of 2007, and we've only written 11 tickets on that roadway. So it's not a highly traveled roadway, and the majority of those tickets, 10 out of the 11 tickets were for overnight parking during the parking ban.
Okay.
So just by the pure dynamics of the road, some of the areas of the road were as narrow. I know that you guys have a copy of my letter, but we're as narrow as 21 feet. I mean, you're talking at least 7 feet of impassable distance if you have somebody parked at the side of the roadway and you have traffic, two-way traffic trying to pass. There are some dynamics there that are concerning. The other dynamics there say that the road isn't traveled that much.
Right.
And it is, you're right, it's been there for quite some time. I can only go by the information, and I'm getting the studies that we've done, the statistics that we pulled, and what the Gardner code says. Roads have to be a minimum of 10 feet wide each way, so that's 20 feet. And the average car is 96 inches in width, and the average commercial motor vehicle is 102 inches in width. So that's where the concerns came from. So you're looking at, to keep it two-way by the letter of law, you need a minimum of 28 feet.
And it's only 29 at one end of the street, correct?
Very limited. And my and I did the measurements myself. I want to say that looking at my numbers here, that there's only approximately 30 feet of adequate parking distance. That was near the intersection of, I believe it was Union and Prospect Street. And the average car is 14 feet, 7 inches long. So you're talking maybe parking, getting 2 people to park there. And then you can't park within 20 feet of an intersection also. So you also have the, can you get too close to the intersection? It is definitely it's an older dynamic setup. Again, we're working with solid numbers. And as you see, we did our homework on this. We just wanted to provide the Public Safety Committee with the information and react on the complaint.
Well, we appreciate all of that homework that you guys did for us.
Thank you for going back in time too, because that's extremely helpful. Deputy Chief, are there other streets in town that resemble this type of situation? Is there a grandfathered process?
Well, we're just reacting on complaints.
Yeah.
And we've already started tapping into another roadway in the city that we brought schematics to the council before, to actually public safety before. And I believe that information is still pending. So we're not searching, we're reacting. If somebody brings a concern to us, it's our due diligence to look into their concern.
Understood.
Councilors, any other further input?
I'd just like to thank the Deputy Chief for his input. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
That said, are there any motions on this item?
Mr. Chairman, if I might interrupt just
Yes.
for a moment. On the motion of the votes, I apologize that we have to have a roll call because
Yes, understood.
so when you do a vote, and again, just to correct the record on number 1, the minutes of the meeting, motion was made by Councilor Hardin, seconded by Councilor Tyros. So just for the record, if I might just do a quick roll call on that, just for the record.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
and Councilor Hardin,
Yes.
and Councilor Tyros.
Yes.
Thank you.
So back to this item. Do we have any motions regarding this item or any further discussion? Yes, Councilor Tyrus.
To the Traffic Commission to solicit public opinion on the street, residents of Nutting Street.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat that?
Sure. Move to send this back to the Traffic Commission to perform more study and solicit feedback from the residents of Nutting Street.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to refer this item back to the Traffic Commission for public input. Do we have I guess we'll take a vote on that measure?
Chairman, if I might interrupt
Yes.
you, I'm sorry.
Sure thing.
So the recommendation to the council will be referred back and removed from the calendar, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'll call the roll, Mr. Chairman. Just one moment. Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
Councilor Hardin,
Yes.
and Councilor Tyros.
Yes.
Yeas, 0 nays.
Okay. So that has passed. The last item we had for this particular meeting was application for licenses or deals and secondhand articles. Do we need, Deputy Chief Trivolo, are you the one that sent us the input on this item from the department?
I do not believe so. I believe it was our BCI commander. We're
Okay.
in the process of assigning collateral duties.
All right, then before we move on to that, did you have any more input on item 10254 before we move on?
No, no, sir, I do not. I'll just take action and I'll report back to the Public Safety Committee with my findings.
Great,
Thank
thank you so much.
No problem.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
If I'm City Clerk, just to let you know, yes, Detective Lieutenant Bean did report that there were no issues or concerns about any of the three renewals for secondhand dealers, Gardner Coins and Cards, GameStop, or Eco ATM, and a check of all the taxes are all paid, and there are no outstanding debts to the city. And so it's my recommendation that they be recommended for renewal.
All right, thank you. Fine. Then on item 3, applications for licenses to deal in secondhand articles. We have an application by Gardner Coins and Cards Incorporated for license to deal in secondhand articles at 13 Pleasant Street for a renewal. An application by GameStop Incorporated for license to deal in secondhand articles at 376 Timpani Boulevard for renewal, and an application by Eco ATM LLC for a license to deal in secondhand articles at 677 Timpani Boulevard for renewal. We've gotten the report from the department that everyone's in good standing. Do I hear a motion on this item?
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, Councilor Harden.
Do I have to read them all over again?
No.
That's a good thing. I'd like to make a motion to pass these applications for these licenses and secondhand articles.
All right.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to pass these on to the full council for approval. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
On the
Mr. Clerk?
recommendation of Council, Chairman Cormier,
Yes, sir.
Councilor Harder,
Yes,
Councilor Tyros.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
that's all, Mr. Chairman, as a group.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that was our final item for this meeting. Do we have any new business that anyone needs to bring up? Councilor Harden?
No.
Councilor Tyros?
Not this time. Thank you.
All right, then I will take a motion to adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made by Councilor Harden, seconded by Councilor Tyros to adjourn. Can we have a vote? Mr. Clerk?
Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
Councilor Harder,
Yes.
and Councilor Tyros.
Yes.
We have moved to adjourn. So thank you, and thank you again for your time, Deputy Chief.
All right, sir, have a good day now.
You too.
Thank you.